Hello and welcome to another episode in Minecraft Features. This episode is going to be the first in what will be probably 3 or 4 at least episodes to do with potions. Potions are quite a complex subject. There's a variety of potions that can be made. And of course, the first thing to mention is I'm not going to be doing any of the potions that aren't actually accessible in the vanilla game. So there'll be no haste, no dullness, no leaping, no nausea, no water breathing, no blindness, no hunger, no decay, no bungling, no buttering, no debonair, no refined. And they're all potions which do exist but are not actually currently accessible within the vanilla game. I should go into a little bit into actually the history. I mean, originally what we had with potions was and it's something which has almost been taken over by Thorncraft now. I wonder if this is going to be the right cauldron. Is there only one cauldron? But yeah, originally what you would do is you would just put the water in the cauldron, and the cauldron was actually what you used to make potions. And I mean, and that was just how you did it. And it could hold 3 buckets of water. And it was a different system. That was how you made it. Now, of course, though, we use the brewing stand, and the brewing stand is yeah. I'm not going to go into the recipes for these because they're fairly well. Yeah, actually, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah. I'll go into the recipe of the brewing stand anyway. Brewing stand is a 3 cobblestone and a blaze rod. And while we're at it, I suppose I may as well just do the cauldron. Cauldron is going to be 7 pieces of iron, and a lot of the old ways of doing it is actually it's kind of like similar to the way that we used to do things in Thorncraft is similar to the way that things used to be, in a strange kind of way. But yeah, so what you do is you get your brewing stand, and you just put that down anywhere you like, and then we'll go into that in a second. So, I mean, the first thing you really need to do, what you can do is, the first thing you really need to do is you need to get bottles, empty glass bottles or water bottles. You will actually need a water bottle for everything that you do, so it's best just to get water bottles. Let's see, I wonder if it's what's got here for it. It'll be interesting. Yeah. I don't know why that's coming up in water bottles. Squeezer, that's a forestry item. Liquid transpose, you can see we go through forestry, we go through thermal expansion, and that's about it. But yeah, I mean, you need water bottles basically. That should be fairly, there's no real way of sugarcoating that. Water bottles are what you need. Now what you can do is, and I've thought quite carefully about this because there are actually different ways of doing things. What I'm going to be doing, the tier 1 just by putting in Netherwart initially. There are ways that you don't even have to put in Netherwart. You can actually put in the other items, which I'm going to be talking about in a second. However, and they lead to things like, I'm not going to talk about what they lead to because that will be for the next episode. But however, that does tie in more with the higher level tiers, and it wouldn't make much sense. I've looked at the chart and the flow chart and stuff, and it doesn't make sense to talk about that now. For now, what I want to talk about is very, very tier 1, very basic, and I'm not even going to talk about the status effects because they'll be covered in the next video. The next video I will talk about the status effects of the ones I'm talking about now, and then I'll do more in tier 2 in the 3rd video, and then we'll talk about more status effects then. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I intend them to be pretty much comprehensive because potions are pretty fundamental, and I haven't really spoken about them at all. And I will hopefully sometime point down the line see if I can work out whether creative and survival mode makes an effect. So the first thing we have to focus on is Netherwart. Now Netherwart obviously grows in the Nether, and it has 4 stages of growth. The average duration for it to grow is about 3 minutes 30. If you get yourself a pickaxe and you either do what I do, which is well, you can have, I suppose you can have any tool really, as long as, but basically you want to make sure that your pickaxe has got fortune on it basically, and that will help increase the drops that you get from the Netherwart. You get more drops obviously the further it is through the the growth process. You also get you get more drops, and also yeah, I mean that's it. That's basically there's first. I mean the idea you want to wait till this fully grown, and that's it. And Netherwart, of course, can grow on anywhere, as far as I know. I'm not sure it can grow in the end, but it could definitely grow in the overworld. I think it can grow in the end, though. I'd have to be there to check, but I've seen no evidence to the contrary, so I'm just going to say that it does. And you need soul sand, and you just place your soul sand here. You can often find it in the fortresses. Yeah, fortresses in the Nether, Nether fortresses. That's what they're called. And you just put it down. You can see, obviously, I'm using a different text pack. Might look a bit different. But yeah, one other thing is that unlike some crops where you start jumping on them, it starts fucking it up. No such problems with Netherwart. And yeah, so yeah, I mean it'll take about 3 minutes. So I mean, I'm not going to worry too much about that now. So the next thing we need to think about is Netherwart is basically the key item that we would have. So for instance, here's our brewing stand and here's our inventory. So you can see you can just you can put a water bottle there in one of the 3 slots. If we try putting a piece of Netherwart in here, you can see we get the little bubble effect. We can see the process is going on. And I believe actually with the new 1.5 stuff, because I'm not sure, you couldn't really start extracting stuff from inventories, but now they've actually got the hopper in it, which obviously not a lot of us have been using for a long time. But and you can see what happens there is we get the awkward potion, and the awkward potion is seen as sort of like the base potion, is base for many others. Although, as I mentioned before, you don't have to start with Netherwart. There are other ways to go about it. Now, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to be focusing on the awkward potion. And what can be achieved from that, because it is a key base for a lot of things. However, now what we need to talk about now is we need to talk about what ingredients that we really tend to use. So I'll talk about the 3 sort of main, the sort of cornerstone in ingredients in terms of advancing, or in one case actually going back in the sort of potion tech tree. So the first thing is going to be redstone dust. Redstone dust obviously comes along a lot of the time. What this tends to do, and because it's a more advanced thing, it does actually it will be. I'll obviously have to speak about this a lot more later on, but it does actually increase the duration of the potions. So it will it'll just bump up the actual potion effect. Sorry, it will bump up the duration of the potion. I mean, that is, there's no way to put it without trying to get confused. It just makes the time longer. Now, glowstone increases the potency of the potion, so it will make the potion better, and that is what it does. Yeah, with these sort of things, just be specific and to the point. It's the best way to do it. And then we have fermented spider eye, which is one that I alluded to just a moment ago, and that one actually corrupts the effect of the potion. So yeah, and that will send it backwards. And we'll talk about that in 2 videos time, not the next video, because it'll be status effects next video. Maybe we will. We'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself, to be honest. Now, next few items, what I thought I'd do is I'll go through a few of the recipes for some of these items. So let's get ourselves a project table, or 2 to the 6 of them. And we'll not place down soul sand, well we will, but it doesn't matter. So, one of the things we want to do is get magma cream. Obviously there are ways to get this. You can get those magma cubes in the nether. Wait a minute. Wow, I've actually written this down wrong. That's not good. Alright. Yeah, I should be able to get into recipe here. Let's just not stand there. So magma creamy. How are we going to get here? We are on recipe, that's good. So we can see we need slime. You know what? I wrote down magma cream, but it's actually blaze powder. So you just get some blazes from Nether Fortress, get a slime ball, and you get magma cream. Yeah. And you know what? I'm not actually going to go through these. I mean, it's a bit pointless me just putting it together. So the glistering melon, another important item in potion brewing, and this can be achieved. I'll just show on the screen really. This can be achieved. You get in forestry. I mean, this is one advantage I suppose of doing this in the mods, because you actually see that's actually been changed, I think, completely. So the only way to get glistering melon, it is actually the melon here and then gold nuggets around the side in the vanilla game. But here it appears that we need to actually, so we can centrifuge. Basically, yeah. I mean, you get these honey drops with basically, I mean, a lot of the different combs, a lot of them from extra bees. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, generally it's a melon in the middle, and if you're in vanilla, it's gold nuggets around the outside, which is very simple as well. Fermented spider eye. It has an interesting recipe in the, maybe different here. No, it's the same. So yeah, you just get a spider eye, mushroom, brown mushroom. I'm not sure if the red mushroom works. I may as well check that out. So let's try it. There's the red mushroom. Well, it would be if I hadn't clicked the wrong button. Yeah, I do have to get into forestry back. Yeah, I really like forestry, to be honest. Yeah, stuff with forestry. It's not really particularly relevant, but stuff with forestry, I'm gonna try and sort of synchronize that up with the Mine Factory reloaded stuff, because I've noticed that's something that seems to go quite well. Sugar. So let's just. So what are we doing then here? So what do we need? We need the spider eye. Okay. Get some spider eyes. So let's put a spider. I'm not sure if this is shapeless actually. Then we'll have the red mushroom. This may not work, like I say. It probably won't, to be honest. Was that what it looked like? Let's just check the configuration very briefly. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. So spider eye next to the mushroom. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you do need to have the brown mushroom for the fermented spider eye. So yeah, the spider eye, mushroom, and the sugar. The final item we're going to talk about is golden carrot. And golden carrot is basically a carrot surrounded by 8 gold nuggets. Let's have a look, see if that is still the same here. Yep, still the same. So that one hasn't been changed. So the only one seems to have been the honey drops around the melon, for the glistering melon. So now that we've done that, we're going to talk about what actually can be created. So, as you can see, it's going pretty well. I'm going to still let it grow, see if I can get it any higher. I'll see the Netherwart at the end, and we'll see how they do at the end. So, like I said, I mentioned the cauldron. It's not particularly useful anymore, I don't think, really. It's if you've got a lot of water bottles, you've got a lot of water bottles, really. So yeah, I wonder if I can just get myself a load of these awkward potions. I can. So I'm not going to need these. Would be nice to have a slightly different graphic for the two, because they're not the same item. But there is, I mean, there's a lot of potions in the game. I mean, I hadn't even heard of buttering, debonair, and refined before. But they are somehow in the game. I'm not quite sure how they'd be incorporated into it. So, anyway. So I've mentioned pretty much everything I wanted to mention now. So, let's try. We'll put an awkward potion here. And we'll start with a golden carrot. Golden carrot goes in there. Let's see what happens. Maybe easier just to do a few of these, actually. Okay. And the next one we want to try is a magma cream. Get some magma creams out. So in that goes. Sorry. In this goes. Yeah, the bottle always goes at the bottom, and it doesn't actually move. I think when you use a lot of machines, you sort of expect the things to move, but it doesn't. In some ways, if you're looking at it from sort of a fresh, it is kind of quite intuitive that it wouldn't really move. It would just, you know, the process would be doing on it, whereas to it, you know, to is a to and from thing. All right, well that went pretty fast. As you can see, Magma Cream is going to give you a 3-minute potion of fire resistance. So yeah. And the first one that we did is going to give us a 3-minute potion of night vision. So golden carrot for the night vision, and a magma cream, and then magma cream for the potion of fire resistance. Okay, good. We've got sugar as well. This is quite handy. So we'll take these out. Just get rid of them actually. Like I say, this is only going to be tier 1. So we're not going to be going through any of the more advanced stuff that happens, or how we go from forward and back, because there is no forward and back really. Well, I will discuss that in 2 episodes time. Once I need to talk about the status effects, like I mentioned several times already. Sugar, and we have the glistering melon. Let's get that. Okay. So as you can see, when we put the sugar in, we get a 3-minute potion of swiftness. And remember, one other thing I want to mention, I'm not talking about splash potions either, you know, because there's a lot to it, so you can't just talk about everything. So no splash potions for now. They will, of course, be another part of the series. And there you can see we get a potion of healing from the glistering melon. This is gives you 6 health points. That's 3 hearts, instant health. Yeah, there's no real other way to say that. We'll put a spider eye in here next. Still got an awkward potion here. Might need to get a few more of them actually. Let's get a few more there. The spider eye. Another thing that we might want to use is the gas tier. So we'll put the gas tier here, put an awkward potion down here, see the effect. Of course we can use all 3 slots here, and all 3 slots I believe you can actually, yeah, if you have just one of each, you know, you can just keep on using. So let's try that now actually. So there we go, we've got a potion of regeneration. That's a 45-second potion. Well, so if that's in there, I will have to talk about this as well actually, because there is a way to use multiple things, but I need to just clarify that in my mind. So the next thing that we have to talk about is the awkward potion. It's not the awkward potion actually, it's the fermented spider eye. So let's put the fermented spider eye in there. And we may as well actually just do the last one. As you can see, we've got the potion of poison from the regular spider eye. So it sort of drains about half a heart each time. Or yeah, so that's like 1 health point, half a heart. And let's just do some blaze powder. Yeah. Put the blaze powder there. Awkward potion in here. So if we look here, we can see that we've got a potion of weakness from the fermented spider eye. And the fermented spider eye, it does, like I have alluded to, it does actually, it is a disadvantage. It does reduce the effect of these things. Fermented spider eye and glowstone are things that we're going to have to talk about, because they're kind of the minutiae and the bit that is most difficult to understand with potions. So I will definitely be giving that extended focus, put it that way. Yeah, and that's a 1 minute 30 potion of weakness. The regen was 45 for the gas tier. The sugar was a swiftness for 3 minutes. And yeah, and the blaze powder here, we've got a potion of strength for 3 minutes. But of course you may be asking, what do these potions actually do? And what do these words mean? Underneath the potion, what are strength, regeneration, weakness, instant health, speed, and even though I have kind of explained it, it's not really enough. So next time I'm going to be exploring the status effects of these potions that we've got here. So that's it for now. Oh, one final thing actually. As you can see, the Netherwart, it's been there for about 3.5 minutes. This one is really not great. This one is looking pretty good. Let's see how many we get. So we've got 3 from this one on the left and 1 from there. So yeah, you get quite a few. I think maybe you'd really have to do a bigger test to compare the two pickaxes. Whether this one, just because it's got fortune, would make a huge amount of difference. Well, I think it would. It would. So yeah, with that in mind, just to close off the episode, I'm going to be going into the tier 2 potions. I'm going to be talking about the effects of the fermented spider eye, which obviously corrupting us. I'm going to be talking about what happens when you put the fermented spider eye in when you don't even put the Netherwart in, to do with the thick and mundane potions and the after effects of those. But like I say, next time it's going to be the effects, the status effects. I'm going to go into detail about the status effects, how they affect your character, your player, and your interaction with the world. So this time, that is it.